That seems seems like a little low. It's cutting off the top of my head. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to How to RPG Saturdays with Sean, where I just go over some of the role playing game stuff that has occurred in the last week, whatever else comes to mind. As people show up in the chat. What's up, William? First ping of the day, morning. What you playing, William? Anything special? Clean my glasses, and of course, like the one spot I didn't get rid of is the one that I keep looking through, and it's just driving me crazy. Hey, Farty. What's going on, Nelson? What's new? What's new? Oh. Hopefully, I'll be able to run Star Wars for my kids. Yeah, you running the Fantasy Flight Games version or something else? What edition? It's a good Star Wars game. FFG. I am interested to talk to Mr. Kammer about how that Star Wars game using Coriolis went. I'd be interested because I have an appreciation for the Year Zero engine and Free League, obviously, a big fan. But I'm wondering how it ported over. I don't know enough about Coriolis. I know a little bit about the system. I read about it, but I don't know how easy it would be to convert over. What's up, Aaron? Good to see ya. What's the newest thing in RPGs? Drama. Always drama. The big Free League Dragonbane Kickstarter. What's that even up to now? I don't even know. That thing's got to be crazy, right? I don't know if that's in the... It is in the crowdfunding news, of course. But I don't know what it's up to yet. You guys in on that? Holy buckets. 6 million kroner. Yeah, that's a lot of money. What's up, Harrigan? It's all right, man. Don't worry about the Forbidden Lands game. Harrigan got mauled by his dog. I don't know if that's top secret, but the jig is up. Speaking of dogs, my dog's limping. So it's weird because I try to figure out if it's like something stuck in his paw, and I don't think it is. It might be I don't know what's going on. I can't find it, and I check out his joints, and he's okay. Like he's not, doesn't bite me or anything or growl or wince. but he's got a very, very noticeable limp. Started last night, so. I think we went over to my dad's house last night with the little dog too, and we ran back to the house. Seamus is pretty fat and big, so he might have just landed on it wrong or something, overexerted himself. So it started last night. So I may have a vet call me this morning to see if they have an opening, and I might have to take him in. I don't know if there's going to be anything they could do. It may be like a muscle pull or sprain. I don't know. So dropped out of Dragonbane. Well, you dropped out of it, Nelson? What? Like you backed it and then dropped out of it? So you were interested in it initially. That's what you're telling me. $568,000. 12 days to go. Dropped out of 5e. Yeah, I don't know. It's not for me. I think it's one of the few freely titles that isn't of interest to me. There's just so much fantasy out there. There's so much. It's too crazy. It's too crazy. Yeah, I'm with Victor. Too many. Like too many. Unless it's like maybe, what's up, Joe? Unless it's maybe something revolutionary, or you play it because somebody else gets it and you're like, wow, this is really great. I really like this. Like, I like the setting and I like the mechanics, and it's like my favorite fantasy RPG because it fills something that I don't get with the million other ones. And I say that tongue in cheek because, we all know that the million others we haven't played. It's just another one. It's just another one in my book. Or Coriolis, Alien. Somebody could say, well, Alien's just another science fiction game, or I don't know about that, but there is a bit of a franchise element to that. And the IP piece. Hey, Sean. The old school. Phil is the most educated one, I think, that I've spoken to about it. He's part of our Forbidden Lands group, and he's run it for his kids. So the lowdown, which I guess you can get the quick start rules, right? Is it you get them after you kick in for the Kickstarter? Is that the deal? Or you can go and get them somewhere? I don't know. But it's some of the things that I remember him saying, and I'm probably going to get these wrong, like the monsters always hit. It's always roll under. There's no modifiers at all. So if that can make it quicker, right? If there's no modifiers, you don't have to do any math. They're right on the page. Are they? Oh, they're on their Kickstarter page. You can just grab them. Oh, okay. Right? Is that what I'm saying here again? Hey, Wayne. So the art is by the gentleman who does the Vaesen art. There's Darkwing Duck, or whatever it is. I'm sure it's going to be like great looking. Here it is. Download the Quick Start in English. Did you guys look at this yet? Should we go through it quick? See if we can just kind of grok what's going on. Apologies to Phil and the gang who've probably had them and read them. Attributes: strength, con, agility, intelligence, willpower, charisma. Sound familiar? Kin, 6 playable kin. What's up, Blake? Yeah, now I'll read it and go, oh, this sounds fantastic. Sounds fantastic. What was I thinking? I don't see why I couldn't stream this. It's out there, right? 3 to 18 scores. Roll under. Okay, so that hasn't changed. So it's that YZE or year zero engine, right? Drive ratings based on the attributes is movement, damage bonus, hit points. Hit points is equal to your con. Boom, bam, done. Willpower. Willpower is used for magic, so that's from Forbidden Lands, right? So in Forbidden Lands, if you fail dice rolls, you earn willpower points. And then you could use willpower points to cast magic and invoke talents. So little bleed over there. Skills. Scale from 1 to 18. So another 1 to 18 type of range, right? Roll the higher the score, the better. Okay. Motivation. Sounds like a role-playing piece to get you to do to make sure you don't like, why the hell am I out in the middle of nowhere doing this craziness? Gear. Okay. Must write down all the items you are carrying. One item per row. If it's not listed on your sheet, you do not have it with you. Encumbrance. You can carry up to items equal to half your strength, rounded up. Weapons at hand. Helmet, armor. Yeah, okay. Measuring time. Arrows and sling stones, heavy items. I'm not going to get into all this. Tiny items, over encumbered. These are probably just like slots and how to, like encumbrance. So heavy items that will be indicating of weight 2, 3, 4, and so on. In your inventory, have any items takes up a number of rows equal to their weight. So they're doing the row thing. Was it Black Hack does that, right? Per row. There's a few others too. I think even Rangers of the Midden Vale, if I'm not mistaken, Harrigan, right? If no weight specified, it's always 1. So it's always 1 line. So you get so many lines per your strength. Tiny probably doesn't do anything for you. Over encumbered. Probably has a penalty. Yeah, if the roll fails, you must either drop, so you do an encumbrance check. Or strength. Oh, strength. Okay. Make a strength roll when you want to move. So the idea is, if you play this type of game, and you do have to make a strength check when you're over encumbered, you put everything in your backpack, and the first thing you do is you drop the backpack. And hope that the game master doesn't have the monster eat it. Roll the dice. D20. Rolling a demon, which I imagine is a 1, means the roll fails regardless of your skill level and other circumstances. Also means the roll cannot be pushed, so they have pushing in this. Pretty common to year 0 engine, right? So if you don't succeed in the first roll, you can push it and re-roll anything that isn't a success, although it's probably pretty cut and dry with the D20. Roll 1, D20, yeah. Rolling above your skill means that your action fails. So again, roll under. When no one skill seems relevant, you can roll against base attribute. Boons and banes doesn't look like they stack. So if you get multiple boons and banes to your roll, it never counts as more than 1. That's on a roll, right? Oh, the boon is a what? Advantage? Is that what I'm reading? In both cases, you roll 2d20s. Yeah, but only one result counts. If you have a boon, best. If it's a bane, worst. Just so advantage, disadvantage, right? Seems a lot of people like that in the hobby. Probably one of the better. I don't think it's Wizards that came out with it necessarily, but obviously the overall populace has probably thought that advantage, disadvantage stems from them. Let's see. Sometimes you get both boons and banes. Each boon negates one bane, vice versa. So if you have one boon and one bane, make a normal roll. If you have 2 versus 1, okay, so one outweighs the other. If you got more than the other, so 2 versus 1, whatever. Only one chance. You may not roll again to achieve the same goal. You need to try something different. Wait until the circumstances have changed. Opposed rolls. Persuade versus sneak. Pretty straightforward. Looks like pushed. Here's pushed rolls. Opposed rolls can be pushed, but only if you are the active party. NPCs use skills in the same way as a player character. GM rolls dice for them, but only when the action directly affects the player character. Here's pushing. If you push and you have a boon or bane, you have to re-roll the boons and banes. Oh, there's my vet. Hold on, guys. Oh, Sean. Day 10:30. I'll be by. Sounds good. Thanks. Bye. All right, that was quick. 10:30 Monday, I get to take my dog into the vet. We'll see how it goes. Otherwise, they're going to give us some anti-inflammatory for the weekend, which is nice. I don't probably have to take them into an emergency room. So apologize for the interruption. So push in your roll. So if you do have a boon and a bane, like I mentioned, and you want to push, you have to re-roll both dice. But you can't push. You can never push a demon roll or a natural 20. So a demon roll is a natural 20. I got that backwards. You guys probably corrected me in the chat. So you suffer a condition whenever you push a roll. It means you get a bane on all rolls for skills based on a certain attribute and rolls against the attribute in question. Each attribute is linked to a certain condition. Which I'm totally fine, right? Like if you're gonna, that's probably not a bad rule. And a lot of people will grok it. I would like that, right? Like, okay, so you're gonna just keep skill checking this thing to death, right? And you only get another one, and it's a push. But if you do it, then you automatically get a condition. That's the trade-off. I think that's cool for those that love the skill pile, right? I think that should be a house rule for D&D, right? Like if you're going to run 5th edition, all right, here's the deal, house rule. If you can, re-roll a skill check or an attribute check, but if you re-roll it, then you're automatically going to gain a condition. And they've got plenty of conditions in 5e, right? Plenty of them. And you get it regardless whether you succeed or not, period. It's just from your exertion. It's from Tales from Loop and Vason. Yeah, I got Tales from Loop too. I should probably run that. Decide which condition you get. Probably depends on what you're doing, right? Makes sense. Well, and it probably ties to the attribute score that you're rolling for. It says you cannot choose a condition you already have, obviously. You got to explain why in the narrative, of course. If once you have all 6 conditions, you may no longer push your rolls. So I could see some people like doing something and they're like, okay, well, I'm already dazed, so I'm gonna Constitution. It just make me sickly. They're just gonna keep pushing, and then checking off the ones that aren't affected yet. No, Mr. Mrs. Player, no. You're trying to push the boulder again. It won't move. It is not going to affect your charisma and make you dirty. Healing conditions. You recover from a condition by resting. A stretch, rest, heals a condition of your choice, and a shift, rest, removes all of them. You can read more about resting. So they have a shift, rest. So it's my shift. And then you've got a stretch, rest. Interesting. Okay, well. NPCs and monsters, only the player characters can push their rolls, not NPCs or monsters, which is pretty standard. They should probably get some other cool stuff anyway. Help from others, so assisting, combat and damage, drawing initiative, similar to a lot of Year Zero engine, 1 to 10. 10 playing cards they use, but it's usually 1 to 10. You deal them out. Lowest goes first, I believe, right? Yep. Number 1 acts first. On up. So pretty standard on most games they put out. Stretch is 15 minutes. Interesting. Surprise. Okay. Probably could switch some of these. Like some of the initiative, I did a video on initiative. I just have to put it out. Some of the initiatives in Year Zero engine are different. Like one is like, I think Twilight 2000 and Forbidden Lands are very, very similar, but one specifically says C, where one doesn't. So like if you could hear, I think it's in Twilight 2000, if you could hear the person, then you could switch initiatives. In Forbidden Lands, you have to see them, and then you could switch. In this one, it looks like, place your initiative card. It doesn't say. So you could change. Where can you switch? Can you switch? Anybody know? Draw a single card. Doesn't say there for some reason. Maybe you can't. That's it. I don't know. You choose the wait. Here we go. If you choose the wait, that means you swap initiative cards with another creature whose turn comes after yours. You could swap with other player characters as well as NPCs. Okay, that makes sense. When do you want to go? Well, I want to go after the bad guy, or I want to go after Tom's character. All right, switch with Tom's character. Easy. Okay. Action, reaction. Free actions, movement, dash. So rules for actions, there's dash, melee attack, range attack, parry, dodge, take cover, pick up item, draw a weapon. So these are actions. Free actions, draw a weapon, change position, drop item, shout, persuade. And movement. Movement, you have dash, stand, / crouch, door. Door's a movement. Passing through a closed but unlocked door costs half your movement in the round. If you cannot move any further, you remain standing by the now open door. A locked door must either be picked open or broken down. Can't move past an enemy who wants to stop you. Interesting. Okay. Monsters can block larger areas. To move past an enemy who is blocking the way, you must first bring it to the ground or reduce it to 0 hit points. Friendly individuals can be passed without problem. Pretty standard. If you are standing within 2 meters. Meters? What? I'm an American. Of an enemy. And then move away from that enemy. You must make a mobility roll. Okay. That's a similar like move in Forbidden Lands, right? I'm going to move. The roll does not count as an action, but if it fails, the enemy immediately gets to perform an additional melee attack against you, a free attack. So in Forbidden Lands, if you roll move, it is move, right? And you succeed, you're gone. You can leave. But if not, you fail. You don't get to leave, or they catch you. Like, melee combat. To attack someone, you must be within 2 meters of your target. Grid map, damage bonus. Weapon. You can have up to 3 weapons at hand. Strength requirement. Some weapons have a strength requirement. Grip. Some require 1 or 2 hands. Kind of standard, right? 1 meter is about 100 feet. I trust Harrigan because he's from Canada, so they use meters up there, so he knows. He hasn't been up there in a while, obviously, but that's okay. It's those Canadian schools up there, which Nelson probably interject like, what? The map critical hit by rolling a dragon, a natural 1. So what? I thought dragon was a 20. Anyways, well, it is, right? Like, that is a 20? Well, I don't know. I got them backwards. By rolling a dragon, a natural 1, when you attack, you score a critical hit. I got a 1. Woo! Okay, so how many people are going to be at a table and they try this game and they're like, I rolled a 1. No. That's a critical. Good job. Oh, okay. Right? We're all going to be that. I'm too old. I was taught in feet. Really? Farty? You guys, I don't even know when you guys made the conversion. You guys were one of the holdouts, I think, right? I might be wrong. I thought the English, you know what? The English system died with the Queen. That's all I'm going to say. There, quote Sean Kelly. Canada switched in the 70s. Yeah. Probably to like, who knows? What's up, gamers? Oh, Demon was 20. Dragon is 1. Thank you, William. They both start with D. That threw me off. When was your country switched over to metric? Tune in next time when we talk about the metric system. All right, critical hit, long swords, long weapons. An attack with a weapon with the feature long, such as long spear and lance, can hit enemies up to 4 meters away. Oh, I don't understand what that is. 2 squares. Okay, I know what that is. Dumb it down for me. 2 squares, Sean. Oh, okay. Oh, man. All right. Your weapon inflicts double damage, excluding the damage bonus. Oh, so it's like D&D, right? Roll twice as many dice as normal and add them up. You don't put in the modifier. You don't double the modifier. Man, I just liked rolling once and doubling it, right? Well, who's with me? You guys like that? Double damage. We called it double damage, right? Double damage in metric, yeah. Double damage in Sweden. Oh, 5e. So you do it the Swedish way, right? You like roll it twice. Don't add the modifier twice. There are some things that I really appreciate, some of that old school stuff, like just double damage, backstab, like, yeah, man, pour it on. Yeah, double damage. All right, you immediately perform a second attack against the same character within enemy. Excuse me, another enemy within 2 meters. This is an additional attack, is a free action. So you get all right, sweet man. Armor has no. Excuse me, you know the deal. Armor has no effect against the attack, as it finds a gap or weak spot. So armor, I would imagine, negates some of this damage, right? We haven't gotten to that. Parrying. You can parry. Durability, shield, piercing damage, monsters, dodging. You can dodge. Okay, what? All right. So parry, I know the difference between parrying and dodging. Okay. All right. I'm not that silly, but but what is the difference mechanically? So when you hit by an attack in close combat, you can choose to parry. You must declare that you are going to parry before the attacker rolls for damage. You cannot parry unarmed. It is also possible to both parry and dodge same attack. When parrying, you roll against your skill level for the weapon. And most of the times in like games like Forbidden Lands, it's an action economy piece. So you could do parry or you could do dodge, but that's part of your action economy. So in Forbidden Lands, your action economy just doesn't fall to when it's your actual turn. Like if an enemy is attacking you and you choose to dodge, and you haven't used I think dodge is a fast action. If you haven't used your dodge or your fast action, you can opt to use dodge, which is a fast action. Are you with me? Are you with me with this? Dodging is an alternative to parrying. You can try to dodge when hit by an attack. You cannot parry and dodge the same attack. What? Oh, it is impossible to both parry and dodge. Sorry, thought I contradicted myself. Okay, they're consistent. You must declare that you are dodging before your opponent rolls for damage. Roll for mobility. On a success, you evade the attack and no damage. On a failure, you are hit by the attack. Yeah, and once you have dodged, your action in the round is spent. So it does take up your action for that round. As the rule, monster attacks can be dodged unless otherwise specified. Can monsters dodge? Can they? Can they parry? Oh, if you roll a dragon when parrying, you immediately perform a counterattack on your opponent. An automatic hit with your weapon that cannot be dodged or parried. This does not apply if the attacker rolled a dragon as well. In that case, you need a dragon roll just to parry and do not get a counterattack. I could see some players really grokking that stuff because, right, like, all right, insert Jeff's voice. All right, Sean Bow, here we go. I'm gonna dot, I'm gonna parry. Come on, and then oh yeah, that's gotta hurt. And then he gets this free attack and all this other garbage. All that other garbage, yeah, whatever. Just give me the damage, Jesus. See you, Joe. Have fun running errands. Range combat. Gotta have marksmanship. Gotta be over 2 meters away. Got 2 square. Right, is a meter a square? Did I get over that? Can we just say that? Is it that? Can we get away from measurement and just do squares? For us, measuring challenged. That's why I don't build houses. How many houses is it? There's 5 squares in my house. Damage. The attack hits, the weapon determines which die you should roll for damage. Damage bonus. Your damage bonus from ranged weapon is based on agility. Which is like Dex, right? From AD&D. Two meters might be a square. Laramie Wall. What's up, Laramie? Range, max distance in meters at which, yeah, okay, there's range. Cover. You get a bane on your attack if there's cover. That's one thing that cover, was it cover? Line of sight were always interesting. Because you can have both. You can have cover, but not line of sight. Line of sight, but no cover. I don't know. And then it was like 3/4 cover, full cover, half cover. So do you get +2 or +4? Well, I got +4 because I'm 3/4 cover. Oh, okay. Maths. Phil, I can't. 1.52 meters. So 3 meters would be 10 feet. So it's a third almost, right? Okay, never mind. Critical hit. Your damage is doubled. We mentioned this already. Armor has no effect. Okay, damage. Armor. The armor you're wearing should be written down. That's it. You can only wear one suit of armor. Dumb. Some armors can give you a bane on certain rolls or restrict your movement. Armor ratings. The armor's effectiveness is determined by its armor rating. Whenever you take damage from a physical attack, subtract the armor rating. Okay, so absorbs it. That's the mentality there. Nice. So you're not, yeah, okay. So you're rolling against yourself to hit. So there isn't necessarily an opposing target number, which is nice, which is similar to some other ones, right? So that's nice. The armor's there just to soak it up for damage. Okay, cool. Which is always interesting, right? Like D&D's we get into the hit point armor thing. Okay, so the armor makes it harder for you to hit them? Oh, okay, but your armor never gets damaged. It always made sense, right? Like you're wearing plate mail armor, so you probably can't dodge worth a shit. But your armor class is -10. So it's a real pain in the ass to try to hit you because I can never hit you. So you never take any damage and your hit points never go down. Well, it's abstracted, Sean. So it's like them moving around and they take hits to their armor, but it doesn't hurt them. No, that they do? Huh? What? Russia went metric in 1925? Yeah. Figures. Reds, right? Touch armor class. That's another one, right? What? What's your touch armor class? What's your touch AC? What is touch armor class? Well, that's right, without the dex bonus, right? Oh, and then you get into AD and then you have front and back armor. Dude, some of these games, man, we play. What are we thinking? And people are like, yeah, that's the way it should be. Oh, okay. That makes it really easy. I think I'm going to have to go break up a cat fight here in a second. Death, 0 HP, you're dead. Dead, 0 HP, not -10, not half, not all your constitution. I think your HP is your constitution, right? Death roll on your turn. Oh, no. On your turn in each subsequent round, you must make a death roll. Roll against your con attribute. The death roll can be pushed if that optional rule is used. Optional rule? Nope, not when it comes to death. Record how many death rolls you make on your character sheet. After 3 successful death rolls, you recover a die 6 of HP and do not need to make another roll. After 3 failed death rolls, your player character dies. They have death saves. All right, I need a poll. I'm doing a poll. I got to do a poll. If you're in the chat, all right, here we go. If you're in the chat, I need to know, are you pro death saves or are you against death saves in any game? Chime in. Pro death saves, against con. against death saves. I'm going to feed this frickin' guy, and then I'll be right back. I hope to see what I want to see. Just saying. Come here, Augie. Come here, Augie. Come on, here. Against. All right, against. Pro in this game, another life fantasy. Harrigan, what? I expected more from Harrigan of all people. No, not in real life, Farty. In real life, he is pro. So in real life, you're pro or not in fantasy? Sean says pro. All right. What's up, Sean? Wayne, roll the body count. Dude, wrong system. Get out of here, Wayne. Wayne, back of the line. Phil, yeah. Pro. William says pro. I'm a pro in real life. You have low hit points in this game. Monsters always hit. Okay, Phil. Phil's got me there. Monsters always hit. Characters will drop frequently. Okay, all right. In 5e, it's garbage, Phil says. So he's a flip-flopper, that guy, Phil. Running for office, Phil the flip-flopper. Phil is like, well, if it's in that game, then I am against death saves. But in that game, I am pro death saves. So are you pro? Are you pro death saves or against? Phil McClory? Yes. All right. That's fair. I'll give him a pass only because the monsters always hit. So what is it? The moral of the story is don't get engaged with monsters in this game. Is there an incentive not to be engaged with monsters in this game? One would say yes, right? Like, no, man, we don't want to fight this thing. They're always going to hit us. All right. Thanks for chiming in, guys. Rally. Another player character within 10 meters and earshot can persuade you to rally and keep fighting despite having 0 hit points. Oh, for Pete. So let me get this straight now. We're pro death saves and there's rally. Come on. I could just see stuff sliding just down. Slide. Wait. I got another death save. All right. Oh, you fail. Wait. We could rally. Come on. All right, that's fine. Whatever. It's okay, I guess. Obviously, this game is not for Sean. That's not true. But anyways. This is a free action, but each person, they had a spelling error, can only do it once per round. If you rally, you can continue acting as normal, but must keep making death rolls, as described above. You can try to persuade yourself to rally, but with a bane. What? You can persuade yourself. All right, you son of a bitch. You're going to get your ass up and you're going to frickin'... You got to get it together. See you, Blake. All right. Rally. What is it? I just gave you food. Wants to go outside. I think if I'm running this game and somebody needs to rally, they got to do this. Rally. That's the sign for rally. I probably would use the rule over and over. I'd be the, okay, let's get things into context with Harrigan here. If I were playing, these rules are completely acceptable. All right, saving a life. Oh, God, one more thing. When you have 0 HP, another person could save your life with a successful healing roll. This counts as an action. If the roll succeeds, you stop making death rolls and recover D6 hit points. Okay, well, we got to heal them, right? I don't think that's debatable. You cannot heal yourself in this way, even if rallied. Additional healing rolls have no effect once you are no longer at 0 HP, except during a rest. Interesting. You cannot save your own life. That's what it's telling me. Instant death. Here we go. You don't record negative HP, but if a single attack reduces your HP to a negative score to your full HP, your player character dies instantly. Huzzah! When an NPC reaches 0 hit points, no death rolls are made. The GM decides whether the person lives or dies. All right, I could support that because I can make that decision. Hello, GM Fiat. Can you rally yourself? Yeah, you can rally yourself. You can even try to persuade yourself to rally, but you have to do it with a Bane. Farty. Rally. Monsters get to rally? That's interesting. It says 0 HP for NPCs. It says when an NPC reaches 0 HP, no death rolls. Doesn't say anything about rallying. So guess what, motor scooters? My NPCs rally. All right, the conditions, multiple conditions, healing and resting. Stretch rest, these are the rests when you guys were mentioning. Stretch rest lasts 1 stretch. Really? During a stretch rest, you heal D6 HP or 2 D6 HP if someone else is tending to you and succeeds with a healing roll. The caregiver cannot rest during the same stretch and can only heal 1 person during the rest. During a stretch rest, you also recover 2d6 willpower points and heal a condition of your choice. And then if something dramatic interrupts your rest, the effects are lost. You can only recover HP and willpower points through a stretch rest once per shift, even if you take more damage or spend more willpower. Shift rest lasts 1 full shift and can only take place in a safe location where there are no enemies nearby. There's an opening there. During a long rest, you recover all your lost HP and WP and heal all conditions. If a shift rest is interrupted by combat or hard work, it counts as a stretch rest. Clear. Alles klar. Wayne says, interestingly, please, Wayne, I could picture you doing this. Interestingly, the monster attacks do not always mean HP of damage. There's fear, conditions, etc. Well, that's good money there. You cannot rest when enemies are nearby. Noted. Other hazards, falling. Armor does not protect against falling damage. That's one people might forget, right? Oh, I got armor. Okay, that's cool. How much armor? Then you can absorb that. No! Poison. It's not gonna lethal poison, paralyzing poison, sleeping poison. Darkness. Darkness, you cannot dash or hit enemies with ranged attacks. To attack an enemy in close combat, you must make a scouting roll in the darkness. Torchlights. Boy, they get like a torch is carried in one hand, which means that you cannot use two-handed weapons or a second one-handed weapon. Like some of that, as game, we used to adjudicate that, right? Now they write it out. Like, here's the deal. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, you got a torch in one hand and a sword in the other. How are you wielding a two-handed sword? Whenever you hit someone with it, you can use the torch as a weapon. Nice. And whenever you hit someone with it, you must immediately roll to see whether the torch goes out. Fantastic. Right, Victor. You can attack the darkness with a torch in this game. Whoa! A torch can burn up to a shift, but torches are unreliable. So while carrying a torch, you must roll a d6 after each stretch or whenever the GM wants to heighten the drama. A result of 1 means the torch goes out. Fear. Fear table. 1d8. Wild panic. So it's not just you get to run in one direction as fast as you can, up to your constitution times whatever. No, there's different conditions or effects, not to be mistaken for conditions. Scream. You scream in horror, which causes all player characters who hear it to immediately suffer a fear attack as well. It's contagious. Each person only ever needs to make one willpower roll to resist the same fear attack. Okay, follow me on this. All right, Phil. You got your fear. All right. So you're struck by fear. You got to roll a willpower check. Fail. Oh, that sucks. Oh, you're gonna push. Okay, push. Oh, you fail. All right, so you are. Oh, hi, Jay. I hear you. So you are afraid. Let me roll on a chart. 5. Scream. You scream in horror, which causes all player characters who hear it to immediately suffer a fear attack as well. Each person only ever needs to make one willpower roll to resist the same fear attack. All right, everybody. I need everybody else to roll fear roll. A willpower attribute. Okay. No, you fail. Oh, now let me see. Okay, let's roll on the fear table. Oh, you roll a 5. Oh, I rolled a 5. Oh, rolled a 5. The whole party starts screaming. That'd be hilarious. Eee! See the design principle here, Sean? There are more interesting things than just death for the PCs to experience. Oh, fine. An infinite cascade. Well, William, it can't be, right? Because you only get one. You get one roll for the same effect. So once it's done, it's done. But yes, you can get the whole party screaming, which I think would be hilarious. And you know that's going to happen. The odds are pretty tough to, like, everybody fails 2 willpower rolls and the game master rolls a 5 on a d8 multiple times. Pretty hilarious, though. I started a scream. I got the whole world screaming, but I just couldn't see. They were screaming at me. Oh, that is too funny. All right, let's get to the monsters. Let's get to the good stuff, shall we? Game masters. A monster is a creature of unnatural origin. It's not what my wife says. Just kidding. Hey-o. Speed. And the GM draws 1 initiative card for each point of speed. So if they're a 2 speed monster, you get 2 cards. And then they can act each turn in the round with 1 action and 1 movement on each turn. Okay, do they pick one or the other? Does it say that? I don't know. Did I miss that? At each turn in the round. Okay, so they can draw 2 cards and then they can go during those. So that's like, hey, the multiple attack guys, right? That's actually pretty cool. I like that because it predetermines kind of when they get to go again. And if player character swaps initiative cards, which is an optional rule, with a monster, the player character chooses one of the monster's cards. Monsters themselves never wait. That's right, they never wait. Movement, like the characters. Monster attacks. Monsters always use a monster attack. When it attacks, each monster has a unique set of monster attacks, which are summarized in a table. The GM rolls or chooses an attack from the table when it is the monster's turn to attack. All right, question. Without having played this game or running it or even looking at the table, do you choose or do you roll, Game Master? Is it your nature to roll or is it your nature to choose? Do you choose or do you roll? Which Game Master are you? Gamer says I roll. Choose if the first roll doesn't make sense. Then why don't you just choose? Just saying. Just saying, gamers. Both. Depends on how I'm feeling. Oh, man. It's one of those Game Masters. Just depends how I'm feeling. We're supposed to adjudicate without feelings. Just rulings. Just as in justifiable. Also roll twice and choose works. That's not a bad option. Start by rolling. Start by choosing later if it doesn't feel right. Oh, Laramie's one of those guys. One of those guys. I default to roll, but choose if there was an obvious choice. Yeah, listen to you guys. You guys are like, well, I'll roll. I don't like that one. Come on. You're kind of giving yourself a little sense of like, I'm playing with the spirit of the game. Click, click. Sean, I'm not saying roll then choose. Oh, okay. I see. Well, true. Okay, Laramie, fair. Thanks for the clarification. All right. Guys. Anyways. All right. So monsters never roll dice to hit the target. They succeed automatically. As a rule, a monster attack can be dodged but not parried. That's a thing in Forbidden Lands as well. We found out. Kevin found out the hard way. Exceptions to this rule are stated in the monster attack description, so there's exceptions. Okay. Conditions. Monster attacks can inflict conditions or player characters. If a character gains a condition they already have, the player must choose another condition. Interesting. So you've got your conditions, and then you have your hit points, and then you have death saves, and then you have rally. Come on, man. There's a lot of... Okay, granted, a lot of these things aren't going to kill the character for sure. Well, I suppose. Okay, I'm good with like the conditions and the fear because some of these attacks are going to be fear-based. So they make a save, and then you roll on the effect table. So it's kind of cool that you can... I will say this. It is... I would much rather do many other different things to characters than kill them. Fair. You heard it here. But which is good. So if you were to just go death saves, rally, You know, the heal part, those get boring really fast. And I think that's where my hang up with 5e is, right? There's just no repercussions on the player characters. Now people are like, well, Sean, you're not playing it right, or you're not running it right. How come you're not giving your characters exhaustion and stuff like that? So I don't think there's enough, how do I put this? There's not enough pain to put on 5e players. Where in this game, okay, all right, fair. And I think that's the thing. Like, Jeff would be like, oh, I wish he watched this. He would be like so pissed. Oh, great. My character's broke. You might as well just kill him. Like, he could be dead. Instead, you're just, afraid, or, you had some other condition, one of the conditions that were on page 18, right? You're dazed, you're sickly, you're exhausted, you're angry, you're scared, you're dirty. Oh, I might as well be dead. It's so funny. I love that guy. I haven't played with him for a while. I got to get back to a game with him. I'm telling you, man, if I had him in a game group, I need like Jeff. I need 5 Jeffs in a game group and see what happens. It would be total anarchy, just total chaos. Not that the Impossible Landscape guys or Delta Green guys aren't like that, but they're a little, All right. Everybody's good. All good. Skills. Melee combat, natural armor. Many monsters have some form of natural armor. This works just like ordinary armor, so they could soak it up. Hitting a weak spot, resistance and immunity. Some monsters are resistant to certain damage types. This means that all damage of this type is halved. So you can still do damage, it's just halved. Okay, so great. So resistance, right? Or immune. 2 differences in 5e, but then they get into immune. Some monsters are even immune to certain types of damage and therefore take no damage. So resistance and immunity is similar to like 5e. Monsters are immune to persuasion skill unless otherwise stated. I try to persuade it. No, you don't. Hey, it's about a milk bone. Can't rally a monster. Boo. But monsters are different than NPCs. Fear. Monsters are terrifying to get scared themselves and are therefore immune to fear attacks. Heyo. But many of them can certainly instill terror in the player characters. I don't know if that's true. I think monsters can be afraid or scared, right? I guess it depends on the monster. And yet lots of those precious players love movies and novels where the hero actually struggles. Yeah. Magic. Willpower points are used for magic, by the way. Casting a spell costs willpower points. How do you get willpower points? If you are running low on willpower points, you could draw power from your body if need be, but if this is harmful, potentially even lethal, roll a die of your choice before casting the spell. The result indicates how many WP you gain and can use straight away, but you also take the same amount of damage. So if you reach 0 HP because of this damage, it happens after you cast the spell. So you can actually die from casting magic. Ooh. So interesting. So you can cast a D20. Nice. Oh, is that what it is? Okay. All right. I'm not a huge aficionado of magic systems. A lot of it is Vancian to me. So I don't get into these alternate rules or other RPGs that use other different magic systems other than Forbidden Lands. Yeah, Blaze of Glory, man, for sure. I'm rolling a d20. Ooh, hope you live. Well, if I don't, tell my wife I love her. Using magic tricks, casting spells, magic and iron. Iron has an anti-magical effect. What? Which means that you cannot use magic while in direct contact with iron or steel. Oh, the OSR guys. Oh, there you go, OSR guys. Your Gandalf won't be wielding a sword. That's the way it should be, Sean. Power level. Rank 1 to 3, and then casting a spell costs 2 per power level. So you'd need 6 to do a level 3 power level. Cool. Okay. All right. Requirements: word, gesture, focus, ingredient. You have to fulfill one or more requirements: word, gesture, focus, ingredient. Some spells have multiple requirements. You cannot cast the spell unless all requirements are fulfilled. Heyo, ingredient, spell components, time consumption, always an action. However, there are reaction spells which are performed outside of your own turn, unlike other reactions in combat, such as parrying and dodging. Interesting. Range, area of effect, sphere, beam, cone, circle, wall. Failure, dragons and demons. If the roll for casting a spell fails, the spell has no effect, but you still spend your willpower points. Free to describe how the failure manifests. Rolling a dragon when you cast a spell produces a critical effect. It means that your target must roll a dragon in any attempts to resist, parry, or dodge the spell, and that you may choose one of the following effects. The damage or range of the spell is doubled. The spell does not cost any willpower points, or you can immediately cast another spell but get a bane on the roll. Ooh, options. Iron filings. Yeah. Well, some of my merchant keepers will probably sell the party some things that might be lined with metal or iron. And then here's a list of spells. We'll go into those. Rittermund Mound. This must be just a scenario. Okay, what do you think, guys? I'm going to go out and back it now. No, probably not. It's pretty cool. It's got some cool stuff, I guess. Still just another fantasy game, though. Damn it. Is there a default setting that they're putting this in? Oh, excuse me. Here's the character sheet. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. They only really describe a valley. They want groups to make their own worlds. Oh, very cool. No default setting. Got it. Thanks. Elite versus chaos. Okay. Interesting. This must be an NPC stat block. Or no, this is a player character. Okay, so pre-gens. Sweet. No ducks. No ducks. No. no, no. Because you know what's going to happen. When I get a party full of ducks, and they're all going to talk like frickin' Donald Duck, Daffy Duck. No, 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 no. All right. Get out of here, Wayne. Howard the Duck. Yeah, throw them all in there. I don't know if they have an open license. Oh, they do have an open license, Gamer says. Okay. We might see Swarm of DB setting books. For sure. Yeah, why not, right? Free League's open license. Yeah. Community content. Community creation. Yeah. Well, that's cool, I guess. Like, if you're into that stuff, man. You know, if you're like into that stuff, man. Who's living under a rock? Where's my rock livers? Not gonna get into a ton of this. Oh, what? Page could not be found. Did they pull the apology? I think they might have. No, this was supposed to go to the Wizards' apology for the Hadozi. Yeah, what the hell? That's weird. So the Hadozi, if you're not familiar, as DM, you enjoyed the players with the Duck Village. Sean, get out of here, Victor. I swear, I'm not going to talk to you guys again if you keep bringing up ducks in role-playing games. I'm just not going to. So if you're not familiar with the Hadozi, they are a species race in Spelljammer that Wizards put out, and folks on the interweb have equated their lineage, background, things of that nature to racism, and oh god. And so there was quite a stir online, and Wizards put out a statement, and apparently it's not there. So either the link is incorrect, although the URL is dndwizards.com/statement-hadozi. Weird. So they came and said, hey, we made a mistake. Made a couple tweaks. Sorry. We have to do better. Blah. That's all I'm going to say. If you want to find out more, go on Twitter and do like a search for Hadozi. And you'll find out what's going on. Monty Python. Why am I not clicking here? Monty Python, not a role-playing game. Coming Kickstarter next month. This got buzz on our Discord. It'll probably be a fairly successful Kickstarter, I'm guessing. Draws from the British Comedy's Troupe's entire back catalog of TV shows, movies, live performance, and music albums, from Flying Circus to Holy Grail and Life of Brian. So you can imagine, like, I appreciate Monty Python. I don't know all of the one-lines and skits and all that stuff. I appreciate them. I will probably pass on this Kickstarter. So if you're interested, check it out. I think that, yeah. Woot, silly walks. Okay, great. Yeah, see, some of the references will get lost on me. I'm like, oh, that's probably it. Where else? Let's see. Oh, this is one I thought was kind of cool. This one's kind of cool. Free download War Stories Quick Start Year Zero engine. So this, I saw an article related to this, which was like a month ago from this, a month prior, back in August, I think, where they were talking about this coming. Now it's out there. So this is an RPG, World War II quick start rule set using Free League 00 engine. So if you are like a history World War II person and would like to roleplay, I mean, it's not Twilight 2000 because Twilight 2000 is kind of like World War III. So these folks, 45-page from Firelock Games, free. So it uses Free League's Year Zero engine for a historical Second World War setting instead of an overtly fictionalized one. So I, for GameholeCon, was considering running like Twilight 2000, maybe like some type of scenario. I haven't run the game. That's my only fear. It's like I want to run games at GameholeCon that like I haven't run before. That's not probably the wisest thing to do. But I thought, well, what scenario would I run in like Twilight 2000? And it's like Kelly's Heroes would be probably cool. Pretty apropos, right? And then I thought, now that this is out, maybe I get this to the table and run a Kelly's Heroes game. And make up the NPCs based on the movie. Oh, okay, you guys are out of control with the ducks. So anyways, I don't know. And I got to imagine they probably did quite a bit of Twilight 2000 stuff. I mean, why not? And I don't know how it differs other than kind of the setting. Smear on your war paint and haul your gear as you leap into the world of war stories, a role-playing game set during the ravage and ruin of World War II. Quick Start document provides all the basic rules required to run your first foray into the breathtaking action that waits. With it, your group will create tales describing the desperate missions and harrowing exploits of those who participated in the struggles of the war. You know, one thing about this scenario or this game is it's like, okay, so where does wargaming end and role-playing games start? So can you play a World War II role-playing game? Of course you can. You know, there's Operation White Box. Can't remember the other one. I mean, I'm a vet. Like, I haven't served in a war combat zone, but and there is something to be said with the camaraderie of the group, your squad, section, whatever. But it's very operational typically, right? Like, so the Quick Start has rules for building, character building and mechanics. War Stories uses in-theme terms such as lucky strikes and foobars instead of criticals. Well, of course. So it's very thematic, obviously. There are World War II themed skills, combat rules including grenades and full auto and suppression fire. This is followed by an introductory section on weapons and gear. I'm going to probably grab this. I mean, it's free, 45 pages. The midpoint of the free download introduces Cut the Lines, a short introductory scenario designed to let groups test out the abbreviated rules provided. And it looks like they did a decent, I mean, if this is from that piece, they did a decent, layout. I think that's true, Victor. Like, if there is a component called War Stories and you got to kind of come up with this situation, like, it's like Savage World interludes. I could see that being kind of interesting. But, there's always a question of like, what will you do in a war? Like, even Twilight 2000 to me has a little of that. Like, what are you doing while you're trying to serve? So one would argue that Twilight 2000 is a survival game. Sure. And one would argue, well, duh, so is a World War II game. You're trying to survive. But it's different because you typically have supply lines and you have orders and you've been given orders and you're going to take a hill. Like, it's very tactical because that's what kind of war is, right? Anybody feel the same way? Am I on an island on this? Mission-based? Sure. Yeah. But it's still tactical, right? Like, okay, I got to get a hex down, and here's kind of the lay of the land or a map. Because even when you're in the military, you're going to have that stuff. You're going to be like, okay, we're going to march here, Operation Sledgehammer. We're going to go up through, we got enemy outposts here, enemy outposts there. there's rumors of artillery here. We're going to take this out and then go here. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I do find it interesting. You could certainly put in some like Inglorious Bastards, Aldo Rain, Grazie. Could totally be cinematic. Yeah. I agree, Harrigan. You could do like one. And I'm a big fan of like, Band of Brothers. Like so I would have to probably channel my Band of Brothers series. But that's a tale, right? It kind of goes from basic training with the asshole lieutenant, a couple changes in command, going to Europe, landing, and then their interaction between each other. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to probably check it out. But I thought it was interesting, and I wanted to bring it to your guys' attention. And some of you guys are probably like, I wouldn't grok anything close to that, which I can completely understand. What is going on here? I don't think it saved a few of my things, man. News Digest. Well, why don't we go to print news? Here we go. Print news. EN World. Go crazy. I think it takes, you gotta like the theme, right? The genre, Harrigan. It's not going to be for a lot of people. And there's not a ton of them out there. Why didn't I just, there. Print news. Dweller Between the Worlds by Goodman Games. Who did this? Can I see? Mark Bruner did this one. Dweller Between the Worlds. Level 1 adventure, which it says in the description, so I'm not sure why I'm squinting at the damn cover. So if you're a DCC fan, there you go. First level, nice. Not a funnel. Not overly high level. Traveler, we're the Traveler fans. This is the System of Traveler and Mercenary box set. By Mongoose. Dyson's Book of Swords. If you're not familiar with Dyson, he does a lot of, his Patreon's huge. Does a lot of maps, provides a lot of maps for free. Does some other things too. So Book of Swords by Square Hex, 104-page softcover supplement for Black Hack, D&D, and OSR kind of games. It's got full-page illustrations of a sword on one page with a description of the sword's magical properties on the facing page. So what is that, like 52, right? 52 swords? Based on the Swordtember and Choptober entries posted on the Dyson Logos blog. Achtung Cthulhu, Assault on the Führer Train by Modiphius Entertainment. Softcover adventure. November 1944, the U.S. Army and German defenders settled down in a stalemate as they watch each warily across the Siegfried Line. $2d20. Or Terror Hog. Terror Hog, child. Crawl Space event. Tom's Action Card Kit Crawl Space. That's the system. $20. Some journals. If you're playing G.I. Joe, Transformers, Hunter, Vampire, there you go. Some pretty cool looking journals. Combat Companion hardcover and softcover. Citadel of Chaos. Hardcover, softcover. By Advanced Fight for the Advanced Fighting Fantasy, the role-playing game. By Arion Games. There you go. There you go. So late 80s role-playing for a modern age. That's what it is. So this one arrived on the same scene around the same time Spelljammer Adventures in Space first debuted. It's an alternative hero creation for 4 new special skills, 12 new talents, critical and fumble tables, 10 it'd be interesting to take all of these books and like make one book and then go to like a game with all these options. Here we go. Here's my source book, man. So that's the print news. Should we do crowdfunding news? First one, Dragonbane. It's funded, if you're like that kind of thing. The World of Kensei for 5e. It's interesting. From Riot Minds. Must be in Sweden. These books represent a new school magic for 5e. This is Sanjiang School of Death Magic, as well as the mythology, culture, and lands of Tatsu, continent of old evil. I don't know how this relates to like the Legend of the Five Rings 5th edition source book that came out, but looks pretty cool. We should probably put this in there. Put this in the chat. Hey, Ty. Legendary games, Asian monsters. Starting to see a theme here. 5e, Pathfinder 1 and 2. Level Up, Hidden Worlds home modifications to the 5th edition's rule set. So this is the Dungeon Delver's Guide source book. Oh, pardon me. Need some more coffee. This one's funded. Next one is Sebastian Crow's Guide to Drakkenheim from Dungeon Dudes and Ghostfire Gaming. Funded. $827,000. Did you feature this before? I don't remember. That's a $20,000 goal. These guys blew it out of the water. I believe Ghostfire has Sean Merwin working for him. Jay, you're in the wrong spot, buddy. Fantasy Trip. An RPG zine. Hexagram 10. Excuse me, a zine and book. There's Hexagram number 10, an old school RPG zine for the Fantasy Trip. So there's 2 things going on here. Funded, yay. Selection of slimes, OSR collection of 11 slimes. For OSR. $1 for the PDF. Wow. Funded. Like $6,000 of a $1,200 goal. Almost $7,000. There you go. 32-page zine. $1 gets you the PDF. Hey. Must be a lot of people wanting the print. I don't know. Otherwise, that's a lot of people. Decent amount, right? Ice and Dice. It's a gaming convention in Cincinnati. 2 weeks to go. Almost at goal. Almost. I know some of those sponsors. Storm Bunny Studios, that's Jay. My buddy Jay. I think he's in Milwaukee. So if you're in Cincinnati, Ohio, I hope this doesn't determine whether the con moves forward or not. It's in January. Probably the week of BSRCon? Or the week before? I can't remember when we scheduled it. I have to double check. There you go for that. Lisa Stevens officially retired. I thought she retired like months ago, but maybe she announced it and now it's done. So, we got to recognize Lisa. She's been a force in the RPG hobby for a long time. If you're not familiar with who Lisa Stevens is, she was the founder of Paizo, CEO of Paizo for quite some time. Before it was even Pathfinder, she was there. And she had worked for quite a few companies. Wizards was one of them. She worked with getting Vampire the Masquerade up off the ground. I don't know if she's one of the personalities that is not as known as some of them, but then again, I think there's plenty of personalities that aren't known. We just happen to know who they are because we're plugged into online resources and things of that nature. But Lisa should not go unrecognized for some of the things that she's brought to the hobby. So yeah, 20 years. She, I think, was at the helm of Paizo, So now she's sailing into the sunset. So, cheers to Lisa Stevens, and thanks for all the fish. Yeah, she definitely is, I don't know if she's an unsung hero necessarily, but definitely has contributed quite a bit to the hobby. I mean, Pathfinder was under her domain, and even starting it out in the 3.5 era with Rise of the Ruined Lords after Dragon and Dungeon were pulled from Paizo. I'm sure she had some interesting decision making to make. And, it's not that she was not connected to some of these people that made some of these decisions, right? So she had to probably deal with some okay, so let me get this straight. You're going to take Dungeon and Dragon magazine from us that we've been producing for so many years. And now what am I going to do? Because even before that, they were doing Star Wars fanzine, right? But she had done previous things, right? Vampire and Wizards. Yeah. Creation of Magic. She was involved with the acquisition of TSR. And then she left Wizards to form Paizo. So yeah. There you go. What else do I have? So let's close some of these tabs, man. Tabs, News Digest. think, oh God. Well, new TSRs added again, in case anybody doesn't know. I'm not going to get into a ton of this. It's just completely wackiness. So TSR, finally Wizards, I think, has put the kibosh down and started laying down some lawsuits against the new TSR piece. There's the discovery phase of the trial has started as Wizards of the Coast legal team have sent subpoenas to those involved in the case. So that is ongoing. It's a mess. You want to learn more? I'll put the link to Ian World's news that you can read. It's crazy. It's just nuts. Monty Python we covered. Munchkin. They're doing a digital version of Munchkin with Direwolf. Direwolf, the new owners of Cortex. Speaking of which, I gotta remember, this was something that Herman sent me. Where is it? It didn't get saved. Digest. Let me double check something. Herman sent me on Discord some magic. It's a Magic competitor, and I think it's Disney's trying to do it. Not, it doesn't sound overly RPG based, but he mentioned it. I'm like, all right, fine. Where are you, Herman? And I know he posted it. Oh, and I don't see it where I thought he did. Did he delete it? Where is it? And his name's got that. I think it's got an umlaut in it. Where is it? Come on, Herman. What am I doing? No. Damn it. Where did he put it? I do not know where he put it. Oh, here it is. I got it. Oh, that's weird. Polygon. Yeah, he gave me a link that is really messed up. Hold on a second. It's like a weird redirect out of Google. Shit. I don't know if this is going to get me there. There it is. The first cards for Lorcana, Disney's answer to Magic the Gathering, are spectacular. So does this compete with Pokemon and Magic? I don't know. So then first cards for Disney Lorcana, the ambitious new trading card game from Ravensburger, arrived today at D23 convention in Anaheim. They include 7 characters from across Disney's nearly 100-year history of pop culture dominance, as well as 1 card of Mickey Mouse himself, exclusive to the convention. They got a ton of artwork, right? Well, it's a bold move for Ravensburger, a 139-year-old game publisher whose first title, A Trip Around the World, was published in 1884. Wow. The company is perhaps known for Disney Villainous, a family-friendly strategy board game developed by Prospero Hall, now part of Funko Games. It includes nearly 30 villains from all across Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars universes. Whoa. There, I learned something. Huh. This game is probably the largest potential that Ravensburger has ever gone after, and hence also probably the largest investment that we have ever done into any type of project and initiative. Oof. What do you guys think, man? I'm not a card guy, so I don't know. We know that as you enter the TCG market, that you're inviting the players for a many-year journey. You don't take that lightly. This effort is a multi-year series of releases. It's something that Disney has never really allowed any collaborator to do. So the trust that we built with Disney, I think, allowed us to come to a point where we both strategically, commercially had the trust to say, yeah, let's dare to do this together. Oof, there's the Mickey Mouse card. The Mickey card being given out at D23 will also be included in the first set next year. Ooh. There you go. The mouse is in on TCGs. I think that's all I have for this week, ladies and germs. Yeah, that's all I got. Without getting into new TSR garbage. Just closing my tabs to see if I missed anything, which I don't see that I did. Yeah. All she wrote, yo. So anyway, I'm way behind on my podcasts, but a belated thank you to you and Brett checking out GM Mastermind. You're a good moderator. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it. Thanks. Yeah, I got to get that going. Fire's kind of gone out a little bit, so I got to light it back up and see. So, yeah. Back. As a matter of fact, as soon as I get off this, I'm going to put some of the APs that are in video that are on this channel in audio and put those out. Still continuing with Impossible Landscapes, Delta Green. Still playing in Forbidden Lands. Alternating weeks. I'm going to be at Gamehole Con. That is official. I will be there. Kind of normal. I have no games on the docket. I haven't signed up for games. I just got my badge. I haven't, submitted any games or events. I'm thinking maybe, kids on bikes floating around in my brain for some reason because I haven't run it before. It's got a unique story creation element to the game. So we'll see. I don't know if I want to do that. Blade Runner is floating around in my brain. I saw one of the guys on Twitter has run the scenario out of the box set, and he's done it in 3 to 4 hours. So I'm interested to see if maybe I could swing that. And I don't know, maybe I'll just play. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll be there. If you're there, great. If you can't make it, that's okay. Totally understand. But let's see what else is new. I think that's kind of it for the most part. So I think I'll let you guys go. Some of the supporters, thank you all for everyone being over on Ko-fi or Patreon. Much appreciated. Thank you so much for your support. All these months, years. Some of us go way back. And yeah, Victor, it's been a long time. So I'm glad you're making the trip up. So I'll be there. I'd like to run an event. See, so at the cons, usually I run during the day, maybe once or twice. I mean, you do one, your 4 hours of your chunky day is gone. And then in the evening, I usually hang out. But I don't mind doing an evening game. And if it's specifically like, if it's called Cthulhu or something like Moody, I find running those suspense thriller horror games when it's dark kind of sets a certain tone or ambiance, if you will. So I've always kind of wanted to run one. One that sticks out clearly in my mind was a Call of Cthulhu game at Gen Con I got pulled into, which was the pulp game that were based on like Doc Savage, James Bond. Who else? What other characters were part of that? some that I probably don't even know that are part of the pulp scene. Solomon Kane, maybe. I don't remember, honestly, but it was good. And it happened in a conference room by ourselves, and it was dark, like it was at night. And I think it went from like 10 to 2 in the morning. It's crazy. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll do something in the evening. But I'll let you guys know. I may put it on the grid. I may not. I don't know. Should play Black Light ICRPG. I should play a lot of things, Ty. But anyways, go play some games. Have a peaceful weekend. Whatever you decide to do. I have to go by the vet to make sure I get my inflammatory pills for my dog. But otherwise, remember, be a positive force in the tabletop RPG hobby. And if you like more of the folks in the chat and myself, hop on over to our Discord. You can go to that to gmmastermind.com/Discord. Love to see you over there. See you on the next one. Ciao.